Welcome to level 1 of Resistor Networks. First question. Right. Resistors in series, the total resistance is the sum of the two resistances. If the total is 20k and this resistance is 10k, then the other one must also be 10k. Not hard. Next. Right. The resistors in series is the sum of the individual resistors, so 15k plus 1k plus 3k9 would be 16k plus 3k9. In this case, it's faster to type it in than to try and do that in my head, but the answer, 19k9, no problem. Total resistance in this case is also, I think, faster and safer to let the calculator do it than to try to do that in my head. And right, here we have three resistors in parallel. And three resistors in parallel, the formula is 1 divided by, open brackets, 1 over each of the resistors added up. So that's 1 over 1 meg 2 plus 1 over 1 meg 5 plus 1 over 470k. Fine. Next. Make the resistance between x and y equal to 680k. We've only got two resistors, so there's only two possible things we can do. Put them in series or put them in parallel. If we put them in parallel, then the total resistance would be less than each of those two resistors, so there's no way we would get to 680k. If we put them in series, however, then the two resistors added up would give me 120 plus 560, which is exactly 680k. I should mention a little bit about drawing with these things. If you pick up a component by the middle, you can just drag it around with the mouse. If you want to wire it up, then if I click on one of these little grey circles, that's the terminal, I can drag a wire away from that, drag the wire to where I want it to join up and let it go, and a connection will be made, and these two components are now connected together. Similarly, going from there to there and there to there, and I've now wired up a circuit which gives me 680k between x and y. If I want to delete a wire, by the way, I just double click on the wire and it goes away. Put it back and yep, I've got it right. Next. Okay, slightly harder. Total resistance is 219k. What is the unknown resistance? Well, 219k must be 180k plus the unknown resistor. In other words, the unknown resistor is 219k minus 180k, which is 39k. Fine. Are there any other types of question at level 1? Ah, yes, there are some of these. Make the resistance 439.6 ohms using two resistors. In other words, one of these two resistors you don't need. Well, 439.6 ohms, and we've got a 4K7 and a 6K8. This is slightly smaller than any of these resistors. And the only way to get a total resistance which is smaller than any of the resistors that you've got is to put two of them in parallel. The question is, which two? Well, we're not very far away from 470 ohms, but we're a long way away from 4K7 and 6K8. And there's no way that putting a 4K7 and a 6K8 in parallel will get you anywhere near 439 ohms. That's a factor of 10 too small. So we can't use both of those two resistors. We need to use the 470 ohm resistor and either this one or this one in parallel. Which one? Well, that's where the subtotal boxes can really help. Work out what 470 ohms in parallel with 4K7 would be, and the answer is 1 over 470 plus 1 over 4K7. It would be 427.27 ohms. That's too small. So don't use that one. It must be the 6K8. Let's wire that up there and there. Let's wire that up to this wire. Again, if you just drag the end of a wire to another wire, it will make a junction. That must be the right one. Yes. Okay, I think that's enough for level 1.